Why don't we have a talk about what's going on here in detail with this scale and the load cell, the amplifier, the Uno, the display, but in particular how load cells work. So plug it in and it fires up, it is calibrating, and then we'll get to our reading, which is being averaged. So there we have milligrams, and you can see it drifting already. Anyhow, let's talk about the construction of this device. It's called a strain gauge because, check that you can see everything in the camera. What it is you've got 4 resistors, 3 of which are fixed values in this case. So this is a quarter bridge strain gauge circuit. Then you've got your strain gauge element, and it gets stretched or compressed in the horizontal plane. Okay, so when you compress it, the resistance decreases, and when you stretch it, the resistance increases. So what happens is, when there's no load on the strain gauge, these 4 resistors are the same value, which means that the potential difference between these 2 points is 0. When you change the resistance of this, the strain gauge or this bridge is no longer in balance. So this voltage with respect to that one is shifted. So you got a potential difference between these 2 points. And that's what you're measuring. It's in the order of microvolts to millivolts, which is why you need a very sensitive amplifier to amplify these signals. So this over here is a 24-bit A2D that's reading this microvolt signal out from this load cell. So how you connect it up is you've got your load cell, you've got your excitation, a supply over there, which is red and white, and then white and green over there is your signal. So you got red, black excitation, white and green, which is your signal. Then the amplifier reads it in, and our serial communications answers the request from the Uno for the weight. So you got ground, supply, clock and data, and this goes to the serial data line, or these 2 lines on the Uno. They're pseudo serial. It's been done in the library. Okay, so it's not I2C, it's serial. So you got data and clock. That's why the LCD is connected to A4 and A5, because it's on I2C. I don't think I printed that out, but that's an aside. Let's talk about the code. So here is our code. So the include files are HX711.h, y.h, liquid crystal I2C.h. Define load cell digital out pin 3, so that will be the data, and load cell serial clock pin 2. So that's those 2 over there. Alright. The calibration factor, by default we use -705. We tell the constant for the number of readings that we're going to request from the amplifier. It's going to be 10 readings. So it's going to average its readings over 10 readings before it answers. those are the counters for the readings. We now need to talk to the LCD and the serial port. So we say serial begin 9600 board, LCD initialize, backlight on, cursor line 1 position 0, LCD print initializing. So now reset the Arduino. It's too fast. It changes to, it clears that, and it prints calibration. So that's what you see happening over there. That's that line of code. 2-second delay. Clear the LCD, and it sends stuff out on the serial port to USB. Calibration, removal weight after readings begin, place known weight on scale. Press plus or minus to increase calibration factor. Minus or Z to decrease calibration factor. So in the serial command window in the terminal, you put in pluses and hit enter, and for every time you send a plus, it adds a 10 to that value of 705 in the calibration. It then gets a baseline reading, 0 factor, there, 0.0 factor. Then initialize the readings array to 10, because we're going to furthermore average the values being read out from the load cell, because we've reduced the bandwidth to reduce the noise on these readings, because we're reading such fine values. If we were to reduce the bandwidth, it would respond quicker over here, but we would then have more noise on our readings. Now this is a 1 kilogram beam, and obviously we're reading at very small values, 69 grams. That's just this paper resting on it. So let's look at page 2 of the code. And then we're done with the code. Check that it's in view of the camera. Now it starts off with the readings counted 0. Scale set calibration factor. Subtract the last reading from the total. So total is readings and the value from read index. Read the current weight. Readings equals read index equals scale get units, 20 readings, and then times 1000 to get from grams to milligrams. Add the new reading to the total. So total is add readings from read index. So that's where it adds them up. Read index equals read index plus 1. So it's counting how many reads it's done. The average is in total divided by num readings, which we declared over here. Then comes the easy part, just displaying it. Serial print reading, average, milligrams, that's just text, calibration factor, the actual calibration factor, and then a line feed. The LCD display, we set the cursor to line 1 position, line 0 position 0, and we send milligram as a text string. Okay, over there, yeah, you can see it. We then print the average which we got from the sum up here. Alright, and because my beam is upside down, the thing was reading negative values, so I'm changing the sign by multiplying it by -1. I'll then add further milligram text string after that, plus some spaces, because as you put a bit more weight on this, like so, what happens is your text moves up, okay, and then this moves across, and what happens is when I take this spritzer bottle away, stuff's going to shift left again, and then you need to, where the G was written previously, write a blank space like that. Okay, so that's why there's a blank space, a few blank spaces after MG. And then the next line, position 0 on line 1. So line 0, line 1, that's how you count. Print gram, average, change the sign again, divide by 1000, and once again we need to scrub any data that appeared after the gram. So when we put some weight on it, put our spritzer back, data is going to appear over there, because this thing weighs more than 100 grams. And put my hand on it. Actually, we're not going to get there. But when you have 0 grams, this data moves up. Yeah, this is a 1 kilogram beam, so we don't want to exceed 1000 grams. Then this is where it reads serial in for calibration value from the serial terminal. So if serial data has come in, character temp is serial read. If the data coming in was plus, then temp is A, calibration factor is -10, calibration factor is calibration factor -10. That's what that sum is. Else if temp was a minus, temp equals Z, calibration factor equals factor plus 10. Now the reason this is changed around is because I've changed the sign in the rest of the program. That's why a plus for a minus we are doing an addition, and for a plus we are doing a subtraction, because I changed the sign for everything. The other way to fix the problem would have been to take the scale apart and turn the beam around. Then there's a delay of half a second, and our code repeats itself. So that's the code. It was an in-depth explanation here of what's going on. So there you have it, the load cell. The cost of this, cheap. This part is about $3, the beam and the amplifier. These Arduinos are about $15 to $20 depending on where you buy them from. The display is around $5 or $6. They're also very cheap. It's got the backpack on it. This is a parallel display with the I2C to parallel converter on the back. There's the contrast adjustment. Very useful and very cheap and very nice. And that's our little circuit over there. That's how a strain gauge works. Now I'm going to touch on something else. You get what's called a half bridge, a 3/4 bridge, and a full bridge strain gauge. What that means is it's got more than one element. You could have another element over there, so you got 2, or you got another element over there as well, so you got 3 elements, or you got 4 elements. Okay, and that increases the sensitivity of the bridge, and there's other reasons for doing it as well, stability and that sort of stuff. But in this case it's a simple bridge. It's a quarter bridge strain gauge circuit, and it's the most frequently found and popular variety of strain gauges or load cells found. There's one strain gauge, and then there's your 3 fixed resistors, but you do get some of them that got more elements, and that's what the quarter stands for. You've only got one element, so you get half, 3/4 and full bridges as well. And it can also happen that you have a this resistor network is apart from your strain gauges, and then you need resistance compensation in these leads. So then there'll be 4 wires going to your strain gauge, to your element, from this point if they are separated, and so on. That cancels out things like resistance in your leads and so on. So yeah, an interesting topic. A friend of mine asked me to do an in-depth video, and there you go, my friend, here it is. I've done it for you. Don't know what else there is to talk about, but feel free to ask comments down here in the comment section. Like and subscribe. Hope you learned something, and hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to end it here. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen. Take care. Have an awesome day further. I'll see you next time for more videos. Cheers.